Oh yeah, that's gonna be awesome. Do you have
Well,
everything ready to go?
yep, we're ready. We're
Okay.
alive.
We are live. Awesome.
Yeah, hello everybody. I'm sure you'll be joining in a few.
Yes.
Welcome to the Cellular Coffee Shop. I'm Aeson Knight, and of course with me tonight is Techy Joe. How are you, darling?
Well, doing a little better now after you lit a fire under my ass.
Well, not under your ass, more like in your stomach.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
In the future, just get me a taco salad is not going to be a sentence I say to you
Hi.
ever for any reason. Hi Gwen. Hi Patrick. Oh, and hello Mika.
Yeah, he says get me a taco salad. I'm like, okay. Standard taco salad at Sheets. Boom, 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 boom.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
No, no. Wrong taco salad. No. I think
Well,
you had
El
extra.
Grande has gotten so small, it could be considered a taco.
Yes, it got hot. It got well. See, I was doing okay with it. I ate it just fine. However, ooh, 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 the tummy is still a little.
That's okay. We've got baking soda in there. We can give you 2 teaspoons of baking soda and lukewarm water. You can gargle it down. It'll settle it out.
Oh, please. I've already had like half a bottle of Tums. I think at this point we're like 2 tablespoons of vinegar away from making a Jocano.
Ooh.
No, not in a good way. No. No. No.
Would it be anything like the sandstorms we're supposed to be getting?
No, it would sort of be like The Exorcist, but with more jalapeno.
Darn it. That means I have to get dressed in my black robes. I'm really not in the mood for that.
I am not in the mood to have to clean those again.
I know.
More importantly, yes, no, not doing that. Aw, thanks, Patrick.
I really think, however, that we might want to get on our bounty clothes and, grab my bounty badge.
Oh,
A warrant
no.
through the news. It sounds quite interesting. I'm not sure what the bounty is on it, though.
Well, actually, at this point, it is now a rejected warrant by Interpol.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Iran requested a red notice, basically a giant, not extradition, but can severely limit travel and create a lot of headaches.
Mm-hmm.
Notice to be placed on Trump.
Uh-huh.
Oh, fun.
Yep. It's
Because,
a
yeah.
warrant. And, we can go and collect him and the other 29 people and take them over and collect bounty.
Well, no. Not doing it.
Yeah. I bet the minute he's out of office, however, it becomes a problem.
It could. It could turn into that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's been it's been a while. June has been a wild Trump news month. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, even more than like almost any other month. And I really, really did not think we were going to top, P Gate or, Stormy Daniels or, well, frankly, anything at this point. But no, yet again, we have managed to. It looks like the Supreme Court is shutting him down in every direction.
Yes.
We are now down to what's going to happen with the Affordable Care Act. And right now, that's not looking really all that promising. Not for the Trump team.
No,
Uh,
not for the Trump team. I mean, they're
no.
what 5-0 now.
Is anyone keeping score other than to just keep pointing at him and saying loser? Because
Well,
that's basically where I'm at. It's like loser.
mm-hmm.
Like this is crap. You know it's crap. You've tried to pad the Supreme Court, and you're still losing.
Yeah, because
Like,
I'm sorry, I've seen better arguments made by first year laurel students.
well, there's that. There's also just the point of on some of these, it's like, really, we're gonna go there, we're gonna try this again, we're gonna do this one more time. Like, how many times you got to get your butt popped
Mm-hmm.
on this crap before you just go, you know what? Not really a bad thing.
Right.
Let's work and make it better, especially right now when we have millions of unemployed Americans all facing a national health crisis. Maybe now's the time to embrace.
Well, we already have a system. We have a lovely Medicare system. All we have to do is expand it to include everybody. Drop
Yeah.
the 65 rule. We're already paying into it. We're already funding it.
Mm-hmm.
We have a better negotiational base.
Well, exactly. A large part of it is that, and a large part of it is, however, there would be some small issues there, is because there's a lot of things Medicare is not really built to handle.
Right.
As in by design, because it's not supposed to apply to most people under 65.
Right.
Mostly.
Right.
There's a fair number of things that would have to be worked out, and for a younger demographic of patients covered by Medicare.
Right.
But still,
Mm-hmm.
it's a good solid basis. But yet again, we're still sitting here looking at defund,
Mm-hmm.
because here we are yet again talking about stimulus, and the big giant items on the table. The biggest one that Trump is pushing for and has pushed for and will continue to push for, as well as pretty much every Republican in Washington, is to a payroll tax holiday,
Mm-hmm.
which, hi, this is a large part of where the funding comes from.
Well, and the payroll tax holiday is a joke.
Yeah, it's a horrifically bad idea,
Yeah.
and has been, and effectively is going to do nothing to help average Americans, which is again where our problems actually lie.
Mm-hmm. Very much.
Well, and in addition, this doesn't do a whole lot for small businesses.
Well, it doesn't do anything for small businesses, especially small businesses that design their business to survive in multi-layer situations.
Mm-hmm.
Like ours. We've been able to work through the pandemic mostly.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, some things have had to change, and these were things that we already had on board and planning. We've
Yeah.
gotten zero help from the government. We didn't qualify. We didn't whatever. It didn't.
Well,
Yeah.
and in but in contrast, in some ways, at least on your side, your business actually, I don't know if it was timing, I don't know if it was the events that unfolded, I don't know what it's exactly been.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't quite put our finger on that, but actually your business improved.
Right.
It didn't diminish in this, it went up.
Right.
And I know that was a big change from what I honestly thought would happen. And hello, Terry. Thank you so much. And Aquarius, hey.
Right.
I think I read that right.
I think the main things we're looking at, because I'm looking at the market trend. We're getting in reports now for the first and second quarter from the larger vendors that we use. And they're saying market trend was already scaling up in January.
Yeah.
Like, it came out January hitting gangbuster because they increased their marketing, they diversified their market, they're enabling us to be freer, they're giving us more options.
Mm-hmm.
Not all of them, but giving us more options. And when that occurs, there's a natural trend up.
Right. But also, like the business model didn't work out the way I thought it did.
No.
And so we did have some differences there than what I thought would happen, because I was sitting in February going, we are so screwed.
And I'm going, no, we're not.
Yeah. Well, and I thought my business would be too. I really, truly, honestly did. I thought that Mystic Computers would have a lot of issues, and it didn't.
Well, we have one issue.
Okay.
We had the issue of shipping.
Well, actually, that hasn't been all that bad. I mean, it's been bad. It's been problematic.
Right.
Like, I still can't look at a client and be like, oh, yeah, I'll have that in 2 days.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Yeah, shipping is delayed. Like, good luck. It'll be here when it gets here.
Well, and what I found interesting, and I think that I felt the reason that you've had an upswing is people can't walk in Walmart at 2 a.m, pick up a $250 laptop, and walk out.
Well, some of it is that. Some of it is also being in kind of a weird situation with computers. Like, it's not just that, hey, Walmart's not really open between these hours and these hours, so if your crap goes sideways, go buy another one. Some of it is also just the way things have gone with so many people now working from home. And so many people needing to buy computers to make that happen, and so many IT departments suddenly having stress put on them to deploy remote workstations. That right now, ordering a computer is a whole different ballgame.
Right.
Basically, in a lot of computer hardware is a whole different ballgame right now.
Right.
Like, some of it is now super, super, super expensive. And some of the weirdest things keep dropping in price. Like, apparently now is a wonderful time to go buy a CD, DVD external burner.
3.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, it has now suddenly become one of the cheapest components you can buy. Just, God forbid, you have to buy a webcam.
Yeah.
And that's also been a large part of this, is trying to explain to people and it was kind of fun the other day.
Okay.
Actually did demonstrate it. Because there was that moment of, hey, we just bought these really expensive computers. I'm just curious. Explain to me why we also got a webcam. And I went, absolutely. So I plug in this camera, and I've turned on camera, and I'm like, this is you on the computer, and this is you on the webcam. And they're like, worth it. Just immediately, flat out, like, I see the difference. It is worth it.
Yep.
And I'm like, yeah, that's the whole thing. Because a lot of the technology in laptops or any computer with a built-in camera hasn't changed in years.
No.
They never were all that high quality. They weren't really built for, business, so to speak. If you wanted a clean professional image, you went external, just as we have.
Right.
And that, yes, if you don't think so, this is actually clean professional image. You should see us without them.
Yes.
It gets.
I don't know if mine works still, because I haven't used it since you bought me this.
No,
so it was in the news, and wanted to get your perspective on this. That working from home could expose you to Russian hackers.
Well, quite frankly, it can. Actually, it exposes a lot of things that IT departments typically frown upon, and it's been one of the biggest problems for remote working. Is who controls what, and who has what, and who is managing all this. Many home users do not have an antivirus program outside of what is built into Windows,
Mm-hmm.
which in some instances can be fine.
Mm-hmm.
In many instances, however, based on user behavior and the things that people like to get for free, and I always throw air quotes around the words get for free because you don't get free programs.
Mm-hmm.
Freeware comes with something.
Mm-hmm.
It either comes with ads, or it comes with malicious code, or it comes with all of its friends. It tries to install McAfee, it tries to install 1,400 other things.
Right.
So there is no free. And a lot of the problems that I fix have to do with people installing free or people messing around looking for free.
Mm-hmm.
Downloading free movies, downloading free content, downloading free has its risks.
Right.
And a lot of sites that offer any kind of free content don't really feel any obligation to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you didn't pay for this, so you deal with it.
Right.
So ultimately, people end up paying for it. You end up paying me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and hello, Brenda. And Terry has a question.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
And,
read the question, I'll do the cards.
all right. I've been staying at Mark's house for a couple of days, a week. When will I move in for good? Oh, and we follow that up with Mika, I believe. Oh, no, never mind. So sorry.
I think you're looking at probably about another 2.5 months of this routine, and then you move in. You're just got to get comfortable. Okay.
All righty.
Oh,
And yeah, so I thought Mika was asking a question, but actually it was making a comment. Mika says, I'm working from home right now because of COVID. I have to use the software called Citrix. It's watching me. LOL. And there's been one of the interesting things that has happened with this. So Citrix, for those of you who don't know, makes few different softwares that help with connection, private VPN connection specifically. But additionally also has some advanced features for ensuring your employees are working.
wow.
And that's what employers are trying to pull in right now.
Mm-hmm.
Is, are my employees actually working from home? Like, what are they doing at home? Are they working? And so a lot of them are turning to webcam monitoring, which has been a contentious issue.
Yeah.
As to, like, hi, I don't remember inviting you into my house. Or more importantly, should you have to invite your boss inside your bedroom?
Right.
And that's been a little bit of a thing. And I don't know there's any good answers on that one. I still feel like it's a little bit invasive. I think you, at this point, could measure an employee's productivity by what they do, not necessarily by where they are. And if, like, I don't know about the camera thing. That really kind of,
Well, and we've seen that. Although, we've known, there are some companies that monitor computer activity that I work with. And it's like, okay, we can fix this. Second Life, boom. Looks like I'm blasting out the media of, the world.
Well, and I'm not necessarily talking about measuring productivity by computer, use,
Right.
as much as literal work product.
Yep.
If you're able to work from home, you're doing something.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? What is the value of that? And is the work getting done? Are clients' needs being met? Are your vendors, on the ball? Like, what's going on here? Versus sitting here and just every few minutes you're going to take a snapshot. Because
Right.
ultimately I feel it's invasive, but I also feel like it's gonna end up being this, like, okay, cool, it works, they're working, all right, and
Mm-hmm.
eventually people stop.
Right.
Not working, but stop caring about the images. Yet somewhere out there, your image is continuously being captured as you go about your day.
Yeah.
Um, that just seems very wasteful to me and kind of stupid. So yeah. Oh, post a note over the camera. Yes, that has been a standard. That's kind of a back and forth. And I
Mm-hmm.
will say that's kind of a back and forth. Is in some ways, yes, that will definitely remove the ability to use that camera to spy on you. Does, however, leave the microphone unchecked. And in many of these situations, that could also be considered like an inappropriate computer use.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of now you're guilty for what they can't see, not for what they did. Um,
However, that can be a lovely out of office sign.
that can be. That very much can be. But again, you've got to remember your computer has a lot of components, and another one of them is called the microphone.
Yeah.
And that to me is also a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've never been like, never been big on the corporate installed software that allows them that anytime this computer is on a network
Mm-hmm.
to fully access your system without your permission, without your knowledge, and turn on whatever features that computer has or whatever devices are attached to it.
Right.
Now, that said, I do understand it.
Mm-hmm.
I end up using such software.
Right.
I, however, don't use it that way.
Right.
It's very rare, and only recently have I made a case for using that at all.
Well, my
Outside of the
other
server.
thought for this is if Mika or anybody else, and this is something that we do here, is if we are not working, our work laptop is not on.
There is definitely that. And then there's also the understanding of, if you're going to have a work, if you are going to work from home and if you are going to connect to a corporation, and I don't mean like, you know, most mom and pop shops aren't going to, unless they have a need, spend the money for high end software
Mm-hmm.
in addition to any high end hardware. So typically, if you're working for smaller businesses and working from home, the laptop you're using may either be your own or company owned, but typically does not have a lot of extra bells and whistles for employee engagement monitoring and all these other things.
Right.
But that said, if you are working for larger corporations, some of that stuff is very ingrained into these computers. It is not something that can be removed. And if you're signing up your personal hardware
Mm-hmm.
and using their products, you need to very much make sure that is a work computer. And additionally, while you're connected to your business and doing business things, really, I've always suggested you want to make sure that's going to be a business dedicated machine.
Right.
Keep your personal life personal. Pardon?
Or a business dedicated profile.
At least a business dedicated profile. If you do nothing else, a business dedicated profile.
Yeah.
But that still comes with some issues.
Right.
It's not always perfect. It's not always great. You still have other stuff on that machine. Not all of it's inappropriate. I'm not saying everyone's just this giant, massive porn hound who is, jerking off at their desk on lunch. Or through the middle of a conference call, as we have seen pop up in some of the worst Zoom fails you will ever imagine online. But do what you want to do. It's your life. But there are things that are very sensitive that can be on your computer, like that you've recently updated your resume, that you have been talking to other companies about positions, that you are taking calls randomly through the day from a headhunter, that you have medical conditions you might not want to be informing your employer about. Or that you may just not be comfortable with your employer having more than what they are legally allowed to ask you about. Which is another big issue for people, is that employers can be a little sneaky about how they ask you about your health.
Right.
And especially right now, that's a thing to be very concerned about.
Right. Let's kind of talk about some of the rules we have in the house, so that we can remote and so that we work and don't live in work.
What? We don't?
Well, we don't live in work. We have the rule of when we're done working, work gets turned off. We do not have cell phones at the dinner table.
Try not to.
Yeah.
Very much. I won't say that's a never, that's as infrequently as humanly possible. That at least they're out of arm's reach.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we make sure to take some time in the day to have real conversation.
Absolutely. There is that.
Okay, I guess Outlook decided it wanted to update.
No.
Yeah. So if she's remoting into her computer at the office through this program, can people see what she's typing?
Okay. So where was that
at? It's the second.
Oh, there we go. That can be that can be very hard to answer. Citrix specifically, I think, does some forms of screen blanking. So no, they're not going to exactly see that what you're doing on the system, if I remember correctly. Citrix, however, no, it shouldn't. It should not. Sorry, I had to think that through. Because Citrix should be into the corporate network, and then you are directly then accessing your computer, which then depends upon what you're using to access that computer.
Yeah.
There are some softwares that engage screen blanking, or at least sit there and look like nothing's going on. There are other softwares, however, that are very much wide open. For instance, we typically use TeamViewer, which is a software more so meant for providing remote assistance and support, in addition to working with servers. In which case, typically the things you're doing, you either want someone to know, or you really don't care. You're applying patches and updates to servers, you're checking server health, and it's not that big a deal.
Right.
But generally, if you're using a software specifically meant to remote in for work, then no, you should have screen blanking involved there.
Right.
It just depends upon the software.
Right. And with that, from what I understand with this program, if you're remoting into your desktop at work, don't go if you're sitting at work and I've done this when I've remoted into a computer to do repair.
Mm-hmm.
Remote in and then go over and hit Google and start Googling what I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to come through there.
Well, but then again, depending upon where you're working at, there may be things that are very sensitive that if you're not in a, private office,
Mm-hmm.
the things that you're working on may not be things that if there are other employees in the building that they necessarily need to see.
Right.
And that can create some issues if there are employees still in the building.
Mm-hmm.
Providing other functions or working, depending upon how your office is structuring this.
Mm-hmm.
If they're there full time or if y'all are all rotating out like a day a week or whatever's going on there, there can still be some very significant concerns when you have a low occupancy building.
Right.
Because you're not sitting at your desk, physically, but you're still using that system, then you are potentially, if screen blanking is not involved or that screen is not turned off, then you are potentially exposing a lot of company information that even though you're doing your job, may very well be things that you don't want just anyone walking up and finding out.
Right.
Or just seeing.
Right. And some solutions and some things that we're going to definitely recommend. Make sure you're running your updates on your computer.
Always update.
Make sure you're running your virus software at least once a week.
Mm-hmm.
And clearing your cheetah and all that stuff, cookies and all that stuff every day.
Gosh. Quit calling it cheetah.
Looks like cheetah to me. It's crap.
Some words with you, I swear. But no, in general, you do want to be very careful with what you're doing and making sure you're kind of following that camp in, camp out rule. Of whatever you bring in, make sure you take out.
Right.
Don't just sit there and let this crap build. Your IT guys will love you. However, many users run into the problem that they don't really have a lot of control over their systems because IT does. And sometimes that can actually create issues, but can also be an unfortunate side effect.
Right.
Is that you do end up with more calls to IT because you don't have access to clean up.
Right.
Now, working on your own computer, I will say, make sure you're maintaining your personal system as well.
Right.
This isn't just about what you do while you're working. This is about what you do with the system you're connecting from.
Right.
So, yeah.
The other thing on the personal system is if you ain't using software, get rid of it.
Oh, God, yes, please. Stop just leaving stuff there indefinitely.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for a discount, stop it. Just stop. Stop looking for discounts. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop installing, coupon programs and coupon printers. Please, dear God, stop installing those.
Right.
I don't know how many more times I can tell people this. You're typically not going to get anything out of it except a call to me. When you're like, my computer's doing weird, stupid things, and I don't know what's going on, and I'm like, well, let me tell you about that.
And I like their unwritten rule is pretend that they see and hear everything. Then you'll know you're safe. Sorry, I think bosses do tend to pretend to know everything.
But it's not necessarily untrue.
Right.
And generally, in working for a SMB previously, because we were 120 some employees, so we're small, but we're not like mom and pop level. In working for that company, the first thing you had to get real comfortable with is all calls are recorded, even if they're not going through the call server. Like, it's not going through the auto dialer. You might think you're safe, but that's not always the case.
Right.
And effectively, your activities can be very heavily monitored in, it was bad enough on a PBX. Once we moved to voice over IP, holy crap, the level of detail and information. I can do minute counts. I can sort your calls in a month by phone number, by geographical area. You can delete that voicemail all you want to, but I can pull that right on back. There were a lot of things we could do from the IT side that, in the right time frame, if we know what we're looking for, we can sit here and I can literally set it up to where every time you pick up your phone, your manager's phone rings and they get a silent listen to whoever you're talking to and whatever you're talking about.
Right.
Now, do I sometimes think that those can end up being used abusively? Yes. Do I also know that those kinds of things have had the power to show that, hey, this employee that you keep getting told is screwing shit up? Not so much.
Right.
I have seen it work the other way.
Right.
I really have. I've seen really good employees that were getting, a shitstorm because of other things going on. They're telling customers clients that blah, 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 trying to get someone fired. I've seen that blow up in someone's face. Because I know, at least for us, we learned really, really quickly that when someone starts pulling that, you don't just watch them. You watch the person talking to you. Because you might find out that the bigger problem in the office is the one who just told you where the problem was. But be careful with that. Be careful with that. If you're going to report someone, and especially if you're going to report them falsely, you better be covering your own. You better be covering your own.
Well, we finally got a wish shipment in.
You did. Yeah.
So these are what I thought was mini tarot cards. Then I went back and read the listing, and it's stickers. So let's take a look at the tarot that we've ordered.
Side note, we opened it already. We did. We were in the car, and it was one of those and then pulled it out, and it was yeah. It's been an experience. So yes. So they put them in a little cardboard half sleeve.
That is for another product.
Oh, that is for another product?
Yes.
Awesome. Love it.
Yeah, it's for a beauty cream product.
Oh God, it's even
the
funny.
Quality is terrible. I had planned on maybe handing these out to kids whenever I do return to events.
Yeah.
I had planned to maybe use some of them in my planner, my lovely happy planner.
Yeah, this is like bad inkjet. This is really
bad inkjet. I treat it better with inkjet.
Well, I'm just curious though. These aren't transparent, are they?
No.
It's not a thing that if you put it on nice paper, it suddenly gets pretty.
No.
There's no hope.
Well,
Wish is great, just for the entertainment value, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and some of them are so horribly folded, it's not even funny.
Well, not only that, but some of them are so horribly cut, it's not even funny.
Oh yeah, there's that.
Yeah, that's what I was showing, is the terrible cut here.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
half the rose goes bye-bye.
So, how much was that lovely purchase?
$1.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those things. Sometimes $1 on Wish is like, really? And sometimes $1 on Wish is.
This is a bum, 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 bum.
Oh yeah, it's total sad trombone.
Yes, this is insane. It is terrible. It is, I don't know. So,
Oh, So
one on
stickers, not a
foodology deck. And I like it. And, as soon as I get the duct tape together to put together my photo box, that will be going up.
Yes. Yes. Though I think maybe we just need to do a build video for your photo box.
We may just do a build video for my photo box because I just need a small one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not like that's one of those things. Like, it's kind of amazing how little you need to do like a photo box.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a very important thing if you're selling stuff online.
Mm-hmm.
Getting good quality photos can be hard.
Yeah.
And especially if you have pets. Just a side note.
Yeah.
That can, pets love boxes, and let me tell you, photo boxes can go straight to hell in a heartbeat. Because they're not typically meant to take a lot of abuse.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go out and.
My opinion about the cats.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same one as the Postal Service. If it fits, it ships.
Yes. Yes. Well, we have one cat who's like, that's no longer a threat.
Uh-huh.
Just like, bring it on.
Uh-huh.
Like, I will find my way home.
I found his twin. Gwen has his twin.
Oh, does she have a baby Ollie?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. So I think that's cool.
Yes.
Yes.
There should be more Ollie kitties in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Ollie kitties are amazing.
Yes. So we're out in an election year. We have a lot of unrest going on in our lovely community. We have a pandemic going on with a lot of different viewpoints. So I thought we'd talk about a minute about the lovely how to keep peace on Facebook. And some of the cool
Don't get on. Just delete it now. Wait, we can't afford to do it. Like, no, sorry. Well, but that's what we've run into. A lot of people are hitting that point where they're just like, I'm like taking a Facebook vacation.
Yeah.
I'm taking a tech vacation. I'm just not even
right.
gonna do it. And that poses a lot of issues now.
Yeah.
Especially if you're running a small business. And right now, with so many small businesses, this is the only way that they're really connecting. Is through social media, is through different platforms that give them a quick, easy, inexpensive way to connect to a lot of people. So now's not a really good time for your Facebook vacation.
No.
But there are things
for any vacation, especially to some beach.
Yes. But yeah, no. So your primary favorite, and the primary favorite of a lot of people, and if you don't know what it is, it's called the friend but unfollow.
Follow.
Yeah, it's sort of like I know who you are. I know who you are.
And now I see all your dirty laundry. So no, I don't want to pay attention to you anymore. So I'll unfollow.
Yeah,
which means they don't come into your news feed.
Yeah, you don't necessarily see their stuff. You may still have to engage with them if they don't do the same.
Right.
Just in terms of them commenting on your stuff. However, the lovely part of the Facebook algorithm is the less involved you are, the less involved you become.
Well, not only that, but you can actually where you can go in there and you can create a list of who sees this and who doesn't see this.
Yeah.
Who sees that and who doesn't see that.
And that's an important thing to point out. And that was one of those weirdo features in the beginning that I don't think Facebook knew what it was going to be doing with.
Yeah.
It's hung around. It's like a miracle feature that just won't die.
It's a wonderful feature.
It's a lovely feature. So most people are familiar with friends only posting and public posting, thinking these are your only two options. No, there's more, but wait, there's more. You can actually create sublists of your friends and specifically show content just to them. So you can create a cool kids group. Like, hate to call it that, but not everyone needs to be in the cool kids group.
Right.
You can call it whatever you want, like anyone but mom. You can call it, anyone that I would not want to kill at a family dinner. Like, there you go. Just put some people into a group that you can talk to, you can interact with.
Right.
That not all of your content has to kaboom out there.
Right.
Everyone's stuff.
And you can also create a everyone but list.
And
you start having trouble with people, move them to that list. Like, you're not enough of a pain in my ass to get an unfriend or a block. I don't need to hear from you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you also have a snooze feature.
Yes.
That gives you a 30-day break from them.
It's a good starting place to determine, do I really need to deal with your shit?
Right.
Like, as in, let me take a moment, let me take a breather, and just kind of have some away time. And it does become a very important thing sometimes, is in the heat of the moment, it's a lot easier to defriend and block and, push people away. But, and especially right now, that also puts you at risk if these are family members or if these are part of a different friend group of missing very important information, because right now a lot of people are getting sick. You may not want like a Facebook level issue to totally distance and disconnect you.
Right.
Like, as in, if someone's in serious need, if someone's, interrelated, you may want to still get some information or give them the ability to directly contact you without seeing their wallow shit.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, some people it's just a wallow shit.
And, I always see my Facebook as my front yard. Anybody can be in my front yard. That doesn't mean that I have to water them. That doesn't mean that I have to allow any of their fruit to grow and bring it into my house. They can just live in my front yard. Kind of like the marigolds. They can live in my front yard. Now, there are some that are my morning glories that I look forward to coming up every year. I've got about 8 or 9 that are roses that I think are glorious, and I can't wait for them to bloom and to come out of their shell and to start opening up. And then there's some that are just freaking crabgrass.
Well, more importantly, it's the weeds popping up in the flower bed. Like, bitch, I pulled your ass. I'm tired of pulling your ass. Please just don't. Like, go grow in the neighbor's yard.
Right.
Like, please. can we just agree to disagree and move away? In terms of, there are many very large, important social issues right now, and some of those are not necessarily agree to disagree level issues. Like, let's face it, we cannot agree to disagree on racism. Sorry, we tried that for 50 some years. That shit failed. So now here we are. It's not an agree to disagree. But that's something that at best we're going to just ignore your ass while the rest of the world changes without you.
Right.
Sorry, that's where I'm at.
No, that's where I'm at on a number of issues, and it's just like, no, I'm not going to, like, there are a few people I love dearly, but dear God, if they pump it, or if they post another Trump meme showing him in a positive light other than wanted, I may have to go and pour weed be gone on them.
Well, you know what? At this point, it's just snooze their butts or unfollow them and just, you know what? Maybe in 6 months to a year, I might be interested enough to come back and see if you got it.
Right.
And then I'll run away again.
Yeah.
If you haven't.
Right.
Otherwise, it'll be like, hi, how's it going? And I'm thinking a few people are starting to get that concept.
Right.
In terms of, I think there are people already doing this. I think people are already realizing they're kind of getting left out in the cold here. That, no, we're not just going to politely agree to disagree. We're just going to leave you in the dust. And if you decide that, you're not comfortable there, or you want to actually, come back and rejoin the rest of society that moved the fuck on without you, then yeah, we'll be over here. We'll be, we'll be doing this.
Right.
But if not, then have a nice life. I hope you find some friends. I hope you don't find friends that then go out and kill other people, but But I hope everyone has friends.
You also have those people that feel like they need to follow every glitter chain letter, graphic chain letter. I have a large compost pile of those messages.
Yeah.
They go into the compost pile.
What I've gotten to in my life is when someone sends me one of those, I just go ahead and send it right back to them and move on.
See, I don't waste my time.
For me, if I've already had to waste the amount of effort to see what the hell you sent me and that it's bullshit, then here you go. Have it right on back.
Right.
Pat yourself on the back, feel like the good little Christian. Whatever you need to go through your day and feel better. And that's it. That's all I'm doing with it. Is just a social acknowledgement that I hope was well-intentioned, that what you sent me was well-intentioned. Even if you don't know enough about me to know that I don't care.
Right. The other things is, and I see this affecting a lot of people, is they get emotionally upset over postings on Facebook or people talking about them on Facebook or what someone else posted on their Facebook. So let's clear this up real fast. Not everybody on Facebook has a glorious life.
Okay.
They may make it seem like there's a glorious life. Normally couples that are posting a lot of pictures together and, oh, how much I love you, they're not. That's normally a let me try to get attention from you movement.
Well, and there's also a flip opposite version of that.
Mm-hmm.
are the people that make their, like, try to either exploit their bad life or very good about telling you about how shitty their life is.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically like a constant, never-ending money bag.
Right.
Oh, I can't pay my car payment this month, and I don't know what I'm gonna eat, and
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't mean to be the like, as classist as this is about to sound, or maybe it doesn't, but it's like, yeah, I've been there too. My first reaction was not to go like money bag on Facebook, because that's what you're doing.
Right. Now,
Like, there's a limit there.
there is. Now, we recently had this, and I want to make it very clear because this little bot dude has now been blocked on 6 of the pages. I
Okay.
don't endorse any spell seller. If you come to me for a spell, I'm gonna give you homework because you're doing it yourself.
Basically.
Yeah. So if you guys see any comments on any of my pages about this spell worker or contact this one, they're amazing with their spells.
Yeah, we've tried to weed all that out, but good
Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah. Also, don't be buying followers. That is the craziest thing on Instagram. Is someone has been messaging us about sign up for this program and you'll get 1,000 followers.
Mm-hmm. You'll get 1,000 bot accounts. That's what you're going to get.
Exactly.
These are zombie accounts. They plug your name in, and it automatically follows, but does it in a way that it seems natural,
right?
Or natural-ish. And that's been a big thing for YouTube as well.
It has been.
You can pay people to view your videos. You can pay people to subscribe and follow, and all these wonderful things to make yourself look like a much bigger YouTuber or a much bigger online celebrity than you may actually be. Some people have used this, and I would almost say legitimately, when they're right there on that threshold.
Right.
When it's like, I just need 1,000 more people. Like, I have sat here and I have been stagnant, and I just can't break this threshold. Because sometimes, like, 1,000 followers can snowball. Just, it bumps you in an algorithm. I don't know that I necessarily necessarily call that a bad thing.
Right.
And sorry, this is what happens when I start to read a comment while I'm talking. I said the word forget, and that was because that was exactly where I got into Mika's comment before I was like, oh yeah, stop reading while you're talking.
Yeah. Mika, I need your birthday, please. It's not that I'm trying to use the birthday to connect. I'm trying to make my lawyers happy.
Yes. Yeah, the only birthday we need is the one asking the question. Sorry, we should have clarified that over time, but yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he can do a reading for you if you are of age about a newborn. Now, it's going to get wild and crazy, but that's not the issue, because technically you can do a reading for a parent that is about their minor and have that minor present.
Yeah, that's the whole part, because I need the year.
Yes, the year is the most important part. Sorry. I feel like there needs to be a drum roll. Like, this is going to be a horrible number.
No, it isn't.
No, I think Mika has posted hers before, and it's not that.
No.
Like, Mika is not old.
Even comfortable in. Thank you. All right.
Oh no, I do get to call Mika old. I do. Because she's like a couple of months older than me.
No.
Sorry, I'll be over here. I'm horrible. I shouldn't do this.
Mika, I think the problem in general with your brother and looking at your mother is your mother is still seeing him as a boy. See the double pages there? Still seeing him as this little boy running around creating issues and problems. Your brother, however, has decided that he is going to be the emperor of all, blow up everything he was raised with, and not deal with emotions, which, as you know, doesn't fly in your mother's house. I do feel they get along once he gets out of his destruction phase and she gets out of her mothering phase. A lot of times they have to negotiate the family relations as they age out and pull everything together. So I would say we're looking at probably 3 to 5 years and they'll get along. But until then, leave them to fight their own battles.
All righty.
Of course, I also feel like her mother is the type of mom who still calls and goes, "Did you eat dinner? It's 10 o'clock. You need to go to bed," which is a lovely mother to have.
Well, that is a lovely mother to have. And my grandmother did that with my dad.
Uh-huh.
Can I just say how hilarious it can be to be a third party to these conversations?
Uh-huh.
When you're listening to someone's 90-some-year-old mother say stuff to their 74 or 70 whatever year old child.
Uh-huh.
Like, it's supposed to rain today and be a little cool. You need to wear a jacket if you go out. And it's like, oh, for the love of God.
Well,
Will someone cut the cord? I found it hysterically funny, but I'm still standing there thinking, cut the cord, Grandma, cut the cord. Oh, it is sweet. It is meant well. It is sometimes, I think for some mothers, there's not like an exit strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a point of mothering that they get to, and then they don't know where else to go with it.
Yeah.
And then there are those parents that it's like, you're 18, whatever.
Right.
You know, I'm done. The state says I'm done. The world says I'm done. Screw you. I don't want to hear it. I'm not responsible for you. You're not getting any more money. You are not moving back in.
Uh-huh.
I have my own life now. I'm free.
Right. And then you have what I call the neutral mother that goes from being the mother that reminds you to wear a coat even though it's 76 degrees outside because it might rain, to the mother that is like, so I hear you're going out Friday night. Which bar are we meeting at?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, and it's always that renegotiation process of family, renegotiation roles, and then they normally get moved on to the grandchildren.
If we're lucky. I mean, like they're like, but my grandmother did not do that.
Well, she was a baby.
I didn't get this. I didn't. None of like her mothering stuff did she like necessarily throw at me. Like she totally grandma'd me. Don't get me wrong. She totally grandma'd me. But she didn't like just like shift it. It was like, no, she continued to mother her baby, her one and only child, all the way to his grave because she outlived him. All the way, 77 years old, still getting calls from his mother. Now make sure you're eating right. Do you need me to go to the store for you? You know, do you need me to cook you something? Oh, sweet Jesus. Like, try not to burn down the house.
Well, sorry, your dad's cooking wasn't that good.
Do what now?
Your dad's cooking wasn't that good.
Other way. Other way. My grandmother trying to, like, if Dad had ever said that he had not eaten or wasn't sure what he was going to have, she would offer to drive over there and cook for him.
I know.
I will stop at the store. It is like, hold on, you can't even shop for yourself. Like, this is the woman whose knees were so bad, if it were not within the first, like, 30 feet of the door of a Dollar General, she didn't eat it. She didn't need it. She didn't have it. Like, that was it. Like, it's more than 30 feet from the door. I guess I don't need to have that.
Well.
But when it came to her baby, that woman could suddenly walk a Walmart. Like, holy crap. It's a miracle.
Right. But she did. $20 in the jackets.
Oh, yes. No, she totally grandmothered me. I'm not saying she didn't. She totally grandmothered me. There was a total grandmother effect. And then somewhere around the great grandkid, she was like, "No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good." Like, no, I'm good. But that's what happens when you have 5 grandkids, and like most of them end up with multiple children. And then those kids start having kids, and you're like, "Nah, I'm getting too old for this shit. I can't wrap that many presents. Hell, I can't remember your name." Like, that's where she was
one.
Do what now?
Hey, number 3 of Joe's. Come here.
Well, now, actually, that was my other grandmother, apparently. She just got to that point of, hey, Thelma's kid. Like, or just like, finally, apparently, that grandmother got to a point that she was just like, you, here. Whichever one you are. Okay. Apparently, that grandma was fun. Though granted, there's some health issues there that were probably diabetes untreated because didn't know what it was. Yeah. So.
All right. So we got another question up here, Vanna.
Okay, where did I? Oh, and that is from April. And April asks, "Have I found true love?"
Yes and no. Because you came in with more than one option for true love. We most normally do. So it's a judgment call for you. Remember that you can either keep them or move on to the next path. But you definitely need to build a social connection with them, and it also shows some new education coming in at the same time. So yes, you may have found true love. You probably have, but at the same time, it's going to be, do you want to keep them? Do they fit your needs? Because, and this is what a lot of people don't get, is we are at the level of evolution that a lot of people have 3 to 5 soulmates. Because...
And we've gotten into this before in an off-air segment of just the fact that, you can catch a fish in a pond. Doesn't mean that that's the only pond you could be fishing in. Well, can you have a good relationship with that fish you catch in the pond that you're currently fishing in? Sure. Doesn't mean that maybe you shouldn't look elsewhere.
Well, not only that, but understand that we on the other side plan for the inevitable. Plan everything out. Think about if you're going camping in an area you've not camped at before, you pack everything. Get your sink, extra clothes, extra towels, extra food. We did the same thing when we came over. We were like, okay, what if he gets hit by a bus because, he's at that chance option here. He's got an option over here. And what if he decides to do this? So we scale and planned out everything. And when you've got multiple soulmates, what that means is you've had a lot of lives. Guess what? I've not seen many new souls in 30 years. They're all basically been back before. We ain't got any first graders. Got a lot of seniors, but no first graders. And with that, we in ourselves tend to have preset plans pull it up. And then we get down here and it sounded all great and grand. 20 years with this one, 30 years with that one. Get down here and it's like, oh, I am not spending 5 years with you one more time.
Hey, sometimes that's the lesson.
Yep. And April says it's a new relationship and the connection feels strong. And it is. I think it's a great, strong connection. I think it's a great growing connection. But I do feel like, April, you still have some options. Get to know this one. Make sure you like them. Make sure you like everything about them.
Mm-hmm.
They seem like a decent person. They seem like they're, not an axe killer. You've had a life with them before. So make sure you're happy there. Keep them if you do. If you don't, move them on. You've got other options.
Alrighty. And Gwen asks, will I learn to trust again? That is a big question.
Well, it's not only a big question, it's a big answer. Kind of like the last one, but better.
Do what now?
Looking at it, the simple answer is yes. However, Gwen, you got to stop the nitpicking on you. Because you got to trust you first. And I feel like you've got to have some strength in there. Okay? You also need to understand that your butt needs out in the sun more. You need to take accolades for what you do and trust your own instincts more. So that you aren't running around collecting knives. I don't really get this as the poor me card. This is more of the, let me go and see how many I can collect today. And self-sabotaging. So will you learn to trust again? Yeah. Is it a process? Oh, hell yeah. We've talked about that, about, needing to journal and reflect and seeing where things have been at and seeing where they've gone. Anybody that's listened to these shows, especially the older shows, would have heard my spell on, if you got to learn to trust yourself or you'll, walk out in front of a bus. You got to learn to love yourself, or every relationship you have, you'll have to steamroll over.
Yeah. Well, and the thing I would add in any kind of trust situation is to understand that if you've lost your comfort with trusting others, typically the biggest reason that happens is because you've taken a situation and you've seen it from the perspective, or assigned it this idea that because you trusted, you have bad judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Because you trusted someone that you shouldn't have trusted. When people exploit your trust and take advantage of your trusting nature, in a situation that you showed up.
Mm-hmm.
You did what as a human you should have done, and they walked all over that. That's not on you. That's on them.
Exactly.
That's them. Like, right. They're a shitty human being. That's not about you.
Mm-hmm. You're not a shitty human being. Sorry, you do a lot of amazing stuff. You make really good decisions and really good choices. And you're doing a lot of this on your own. You move. You're running Pride. You're running a holistic festival. You're reaching out to your community. You're always doing something terrible. I've seen you do it. And then you make sound decisions for the community you're guiding. So you got to learn. Sorry, girl, you're good to be trustworthy. I trust you. So you got to start learning to trust yourself.
Hey, there you go. So yeah, but no, that's always like kind of my big thing is realize when someone abuses the trust you allowed them, that's on them.
Yep,
That's totally them. That is
exactly.
so them.
And not at your doorstep. Don't even let that dust settle there. Just send it back to theirs and go, bad person. Add them to my little black book of, nope, ain't dealing with you. Nope, ain't dealing with you either.
Absolutely. Because God knows we went through that about a year, almost a year and a half ago.
Yeah, almost.
Closing up on a year and a half ago.
We went through that.
Um,
Well, I've gone through it many times where I just start firing people.
well, yeah, but I mean specifically, we in hindsight, the worst things I can say about this is that yeah, we thought someone was telling us the truth. We thought they were in a really bad situation. We trusted what they said was truthful. And we invited them in our home to get them out of what we understood to be a very bad situation. And that became a knife in our back. And that took a while. That took a really long while and a lot of anger.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of anger. There was no escaping that anger.
Mm-hmm.
So yes.
Yeah.
Aw, that was awesome, Brenda.
We don't tell you anything straight. We tell you full of rainbow and glitters with no sugarcoat.
Yeah, yeah. Proceed gaily forward.
Yes.
But no, I was awing Brenda's comment. That was so sweet.
Mm-hmm. But we're kind of pulling everything together here. If you guys got questions, go ahead and pop them in.
Oh hell
yeah. Some things I do. Yeah, and it takes time. I know you've cut yourself before. It takes time to heal up. Your emotions, your ethereal, emotional body, it takes time to heal up, just like your physical does.
Yeah.
No. All right. So, in July 11th, I will be taking live appointments at Earth Magic.
Yes.
And then I will be emceeing Pagan Pride Central West Virginia over at Roan Temple of Light and doing some readings there. Yes, Mika, I'll get to that in a second. Those are the next two events I am doing. I will not be at any live festival this year. Sorry, I look too cute about it. I really do not want to, have to, go to the other side early. So, guys, if you're there, please be safe. Please, take your hand sanitizer with you. Wear a mask. If you're stepping outside your pod, wear a mask. But understand that I will not be at any other festivals this year that are in person.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. Back to Mika. Yeah, he's fine. He just needs to grow up. He likes to act angrily.
Okay. Did I miss the actual question?
It's below Brenda sticking her tongue out at you.
Oh. Well, no, she said I have one more for my brother. Is that okay?
Oh, sorry, I misread that. Yes, Mika.
Yeah, no. Yeah, we're still waiting on the question or we missed it. Sorry, I thought you were answering something I hadn't seen. And I'm like, I didn't see a question. Oh, you are very welcome, Gwen. Oh my God, pagan prude. This is a concept I think we have to flesh out. What would a pagan prude look like while we're waiting for Mika? Can we just play with that concept for a second? What would a pagan prude look like?
Oh, God. That's a discussionary topic I'm going to have to think on.
Like,
I think that's a video we might have to invite Gwen in on, and we discuss pagan prudery, because we have it in the community.
Okay. Okay. He is wondering if his girlfriend Rose is the one for him.
Now, Rose comes with some drama. Like, she carries a suitcase. He, however, likes to collect it. Simple answer, 2 of Cups, yes. He is the one for him. So, yeah, Rose is currently the one for him. Definitely. So, yeah, that'll be a good relationship. Tell him to work on his collecting drama, though, because she'll just keep him filled up.
Okay. So,
some ideas in here.
Yes, Brenda has pointed out Pagan Prude definitely knows Skyclad.
Well, that, and I'm a 13th generational blah 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 heretical blah blah blah. Yeah, me and Gwen will get onto the sideline conversation, and I'll have her on as a guest for a talk with Aeson, and we'll talk Pagan Prude.
And I just had a whole conversational idea in my head that I'm just not even going to share because that would be wrong and should not be brought up. So we'll talk about that after the show.
Yeah.
It's not well, it's sort of an inside joke, but yeah. Anyway, moving along.
But no, I think that'll be fine. I think that Pagan Pride Virtual will be really awesome. This will enable actually a lot more people probably to participate that would be able to do it. And then we will also, I look forward to going up to Morgantown. However, you guys need to book your appointments. Here's why. This is what we found out doing Taste of the Lotus. Is the cleaning process. Before, I used to bang out readings like, bring them in, line them up. Well, that was when we were in normal times. Now we're in ultra times. So now it's like, bring one in, let's do the reading, then it's going to get wiped down. The whole area gets, washed, wiped, polished.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we go out for 2 cigarettes waiting for it to dry before I can even begin the next reading. Now, at Taste of Lotus, I ended up setting up 2 stations and probably could have used 3.
Mm-hmm.
So, absolutely. Be sure to be calling Earth Magic, getting your appointment if you want one.
Yes.
Phone is always an option. Video is an option. I pulled Gwen into my video center for a reading, for a talk.
Yes, Brenda. Yes, always take cheesecake delivery.
We do take cheesecake delivery. We are not shaking hands and we are not hugging.
Nope, not doing that.
Right.
Air hugs.
Air hugs.
I'm getting really good with my air hugs.
Yeah. Energy sends. Both of those work.
Can we kill the elbow though?
No, energy sends or namaste.
Like, I'm good with that, but like, we're killing the elbow thing because I swear to God, every time someone has tried to do that, all I can keep hearing is chicken dance in my head, and it's like it is immediately what goes through my head. I can't help it anymore.
Yeah,
and it's like, now is not a time for the chicken dance.
Right. But no, you want to bring Joe cheesecake? Cool. You want to bring me cheesecake? Great. Mika, you can actually go to aesonknight.com or pcsnetwork.com. Both of them have appointment links for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and you'll be able to book a private appointment or a video reading. If Gwen's still with us, I'd love to hear what she thought of coming into the video studio.
Absolutely. And yes. So, okay. What I can say, Brenda, on our kind of inside joke is a little while back, we met a group that I swear to God, if their broomsticks got any further up their asses, and I mean insertion by handle, the straw of the broom would be tickling their throat. That is basically everything I can say about that group of witches.
But Gwen said, she says, sure, because she got pulled into it. She said, hey, can you talk? And I said, sure, let me set this up.
Mm-hmm.
How easy was it for you to connect to my studio? Of course, you didn't have to download any software, because a lot of people get worried about that.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I don't know though anymore with Zoom, because Zoom does require a software download.
I don't use it.
And some other, we've got some other things going on there, competition wise.
Yeah.
For different kinds of connections.
Yeah.
So I think people are getting a little more comfortable with downloading like helper apps for different softwares.
Yeah. Well, what I use
Again, be careful with that.
for the store for the shows.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, one link, very easy.
Yep. And then you just come into a private room. I have the ability to record it if you like. If not, no big deal. It's destroyed after the connection's done. The reason I don't use Facebook Live Facebook Messenger link or Zoom or anything like that for my video readings is because then you have to have Zoom or you have to have Skype or you have to have this. And I'm like, no, one link, done, no download, open up a web browser, and there we are.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And recording, just to clarify, is always optional.
Yes.
It's not that he automatically records. That would be something you would have to want.
Yes. Unless you are UK. UK, we do not have a choice.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah. Sorry, forgot that part.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm going to be editing for hours.
Because we'll do it live, and there is no cutting out. We do this unedited. That's my rule for a lot of it. But what I'm thinking about is, bringing you in for a coffee talk or something like that. And, let's talk about some of these things going on and some of the prudishness that's going on and some of the bullshit. Like, guys, did you know you could become a Reiki master in 3 hours from the comfort of your home?
Yeah. Well, that's still better than the people have been trying for like 5 years.
Yeah.
Whatever it was. Like that crazy scenario we ran into at an event.
Oh, that was for Reiki level 1.
Yeah, it was that was so stupid. So stupid. And like the stuff they were saying, it was like, are they just like, it honestly sounded like someone like started a workshop, didn't know what they were doing, and then they just like went, okay, we're going to throw everything at this and just be like, all right, guys, we're going to do arts and crafts.
Yep.
And, like it's bad AA or something, It's like,
yep.
Are you just pulling this out of your ass?
Well, they're doing a lot with that.
Hey.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to do more and force you to open your throat chakra. I'm going to force you to open up that third eye, and then we'll get to working on that tummy level too.
Oh no, like this was just for level 1. They were working that many years for a level 1.
They were meeting once a week for 4 hours a day, 4 hours a week, and had been doing it for 5 years and hadn't gotten their level 1.
Yeah.
Now, that is an 8-hour class that is taught on a Saturday or a Sunday, and I recommend 3 months before you go for the next.
Yeah. But no, like spreading it out over 2 years, that's totally reasonable.
Yeah.
Spending multiple years weekly, 52 weeks, and they were paying how much for this shit?
Like $35 a week.
Yeah, $35 a week for years trying to get their level 1. It was like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to be real mad if we give you some references.
And I did. I said, here's Christina Dolan's card. Call her.
Absolutely. Because we love Christina.
Yes. Yeah. And she's getting ready to start doing another Reiki series. And who knows? I may step in and do level 1s.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Because I have two modalities of Reiki Master. And I don't know. It's something I use, but not something I've always thought about teaching. And whenever I get into that mode, I have to back it down. And
Okay.
go, what's level? It's like when we developed Tarot of the Fools. It's like, okay, how do I do this?
How do I explain this to people? It's been a while since I've had to that I've been there, and like, what can I actually say that actually works?
Well, not only that,
sometimes you run into that problem, like trying to teach someone how to do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just getting back in that beginner mindset. It's also like, what was the thing that really created problems for me? Like, where was my stumbling blocks in this?
Mm-hmm. Well,
and getting back in that mindset.
Well, like, I do Reiki treatments and stuff like that. I'm able to go in and see muscle and tissue and veins and nerves and knots and all this in my head. But that's not Reiki. That is psychic connection and hands of light. And then, I may throw some powwow in there to work on some healing. And, so it is kind of more of a healing treatment than just one modality for me. Mm-hmm. So going and, teaching just Reiki, I have to step back and go, okay, nope, that's not Reiki. Nope, that's not Reiki. Nope, that's not Reiki either. Oh, that's Reiki.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, and that can be a lot
to
like sit there and try to really get that granular with.
Hello, darling. Nice to see you, Donna. You're catching us at the end, but wonderful to have you.
I am just appalled that you assume that when someone says handsome, they're talking to you.
Fine. I don't think you met
Donna.
She's the one that taught me Facetune.
Do what?
Oh, honey, I have a glorious freaking picture that me and her took. And I love when it pops up on my memory line around Beltane because it's wonderful. I look like I just had a facelift and everything.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh. But yes. Someone finds me cute.
She ain't the only one.
No, I gotta give people grief.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, I'll let it slide.
Donna, are you being safe? Because are you still going into the prisons?
Oh, that is a scary place to be right now.
Yeah.
That is. Well, she's talking about photos.
Yeah.
And yes, filters are always your friend.
Very much so.
Like there's 72 on this video alone. Uh, no. But I did invest in a good camera because let me tell you, if I use the one built into this computer, I look some Uncle Fester. That's what I look like.
Good.
Okay.
You can get back into action afterwards. Let's get through this first.
Yay.
Yay.
Yeah. So fun. Do we have other fun stuff coming up or anything else exciting in the news or what else we got going on?
Yes, it's very much worth it, Brenda. Well, now that wish orders are starting to appear, you can start putting it up. Yes, please put up your website into the thing. She runs West Virginia prison program for pagans and Wiccans. So yes, please do that. Pagans that have books laying around, which Donovan, one of these days, honey, I need to find me someone to go up into my attic. I got a ton of crap for you there. I did see that.
Yes.
Okay, Planet Fitness is like been added to Aeson's Black Book, but anyhow.
Yeah.
Yeah, one person going to the gym could possibly have infected up to 200 people. Like, they're not even sure if it's more than 200 right at this point.
Yeah. And what gets me is that's a lot. Like, I know there's lots of people coming and going in gyms. And so there's always, that kind of opportunity. But wow.
Yeah.
Like, wow. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Yay! Awesome.
Yes.
Love it.
Love it.
But no, we saw that story. We were just kind of like, wow. So yeah, no, again, masks, wipe downs, please.
Hand sanitizer. Please don't do gyms right now. That's like on a scale of 1 to 8 is a 7.
Yeah, it's summer. Go outside and take a walk. Like, you know what I mean? It's like it was about health and fitness that you joined a gym.
Now it's not.
Now is a time to keep that health and fitness concept going and key emphasis on health and maybe let the gym membership go.
Right.
Well, like as in like let it be. Just let it be. I'm not saying defund the gyms, though that's a different topic, and maybe we'll get into that on Friday. But
we will,
because I have my own issues with gyms. Yeah.
But we will be talking about them. We'll be talking about why we decided on the why. Exactly, Donna. If you wear pants in public, wearing a mask should be required too. Agreed. Also, for pagans, I also say if you believe in the harm done rule, that should immediately identify you as wearing a mask. Do unto others if you'd have them do unto you. That means that you should be wearing a mask.
Absolutely.
I'm actually thinking about writing an article about that.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, we will be talking about Morgantown because I'm waiting for more details to come in for it. I.e. details on the Planet Fitness and seeing what actions they're taking. Because here's the thing, they're going from this time to this time. However, we know that it lives on surfaces for up to 4 days.
Yeah. Well, and just the generalities of, you're still talking about a gym.
Yeah.
Like, wiping down equipment is one thing, but, like, that's not the only thing you touch in a gym. That's not the only thing you're coming in contact with in a gym.
Yeah.
Equipment wipe down is great, but, locker rooms, hello? Like, I'm like, those are kind of nasty spaces to begin with,
Right.
and they do not get better.
Right.
Like, the only thing you can do is bleach the hell out of it, and then good luck.
Well, not only that, but we ran into something Saturday
Hmm.
with your latex allergy.
Ooh, yeah, hi. Thanks for the reminder. I was starting to not remember that.
I know.
It was not fun.
But that was in a completely different space that was picked up through the AC and blasted over to our space.
And honestly, if someone had flat out said, would you, or asked, would you react that badly to this? I would have truthfully, honestly thought no.
Yeah.
Like, I would have thought, okay, yeah, I'm probably going to sneeze some and I'm going to get a little itchy, but yeah. So just to go into this real quick, guys. So Saturday, I had the lovely experience of going, oh my God, I think I'm getting sick. Followed very quickly by, oh my God, COVID-19 hits like a fucking train wreck. To suddenly realizing, no, I'm having an allergic reaction.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a good one. Like, I was having a moment there. I was afraid, like, I think I'm going to go into anaphylactic shock.
Yeah.
And so I have a latex allergy. Typically I'm really like not that bad with it. Like, I avoid latex. I have been able to, like, I can blow up balloons. I just got to take like a big long break. And I'm not doing that many. Like, I'll do like balloon, like 2 or 3, and then I'm done. Like, you know, it's typically my latex allergy is not something that's going to kill me. However, and like, I avoid paint, period. Like, latex paint, yeah, not a good idea for me. In it, on it, near it, round it, I don't even lean. I try not to lean against it. Because I do have skin reactions. Pardon?
Elbows.
Yeah. Yeah. Painted surfaces in my elbows, God knows.
No. You're shaking your screen.
Sorry, that was my knee.
Ah.
But yeah, so even through a mask, what was going on is wallpaper removal. And I think somewhere between the chemicals softening the wallpaper glue, soaking into the paint, which that wasn't working to totally remove that wallpaper. So there was some sanding action going on. Oy.
Yeah. But you weren't in the room. They had the door closed. We thought it was going to be no big deal.
We weren't even thinking about it. Like,
Yeah.
that was the problem. Is this, weren't you saying that this was supposed to have like been occurring like a week before?
Right. But
And we were all like, okay, whatever, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And totally not catching it. I'm not getting any of my normal, like, oh my God, do I smell paint? Like, I got to get out of here. Because I have worse reactions to paint, like wet paint, and all the fumes than I have with like physical painted surfaces.
Right.
That are just like, it's painted, it's done, it's over with. Like, I'll get a little redness, I'll get a little, you know, itchy, but it's not that bad.
Right.
Typically. Sensitive is not, that's a different topic.
Right.
But yeah, no. So, but no, I'm clueless. I'm not getting it until all of a sudden, like, you're thinking I'm getting sick. We're both kind of panicking, like, oh God, what do we do now? Like, what's going on? What, you know, and this is just hitting me harder and harder and harder, like minute by minute by minute. And it took all of that for me to finally be like, you know, the weird part is the last time I felt like this, paint was involved. And then it all clicked, and we were like, uh-oh.
Yeah. The painting was going on. No liquid paint was being painted. This should have been an easy thing.
Oh,
This
yeah.
should have been a non-reactive thing for you. You
Yeah.
weren't in the space. You weren't in contact with the wallpaper. But
Oh,
boom,
yeah.
ventilation system. Suck that sucker up. Blew it all through the store. And it was the same thing as if I had stuck your head in a paint jug.
Well, probably a little better than that because I think the head in a paint jug, I'm dead. Like, that's just not gonna.
Yeah, but if it does that with latex paint dust, what's it doing with these droplets?
I know.
And this is a heprified system. Like, I've seen those filters. They're thick and huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I was totally missing it. And I guess that's a big part of like how big COVID-19 is right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's my first thought is, oh shit, because again, I'm having an allergic reaction. I'm coughing, my throat's getting sore, my nose is getting runny, I'm starting to feel really bad, I'm getting hot. Like,
yeah, you're getting the red face fever, and I'm like, great.
Yeah, like you're standing there freaking
where
out.
have you
Oh,
been?
oh shit!
You
Oh
have
shit!
not worn a mask. When have you not washed your hands? Like,
I know,
why is
right?
my OCD boyfriend getting?
How did this happen? Yes, but no, I mean, that was kind of like we were both there, and then all of a sudden it hit, and it was like, I couldn't even like have a problem with the fact that, like, oh my God, like, what are you doing? Like, I wasn't even like, I'm not mad, like, totally not mad. Totally not mad.
Totally great, because it was a great example.
I really would have never imagined this would have happened in that situation.
Right.
But I was just all of a sudden in the middle of having an allergic reaction, mind you, relieved.
Yeah.
By the reality of, oh, thank God I'm not getting sick. Because I was already like, what are we going to do? How are we going to handle this? What do I need to do? Where do I need to go? How are we going to make this work? Are you already sick? Like, what are we going to do about you? What are we going to, like, how do I get you home? We're there. That's mentally where we're at, is like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
Uh-huh.
Like, there's nothing else going through my brain at that point but oh shit, shit.
Yeah.
Which I should have been having to, in terms of get to real air. Get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Which any other time I would have caught this and been like, oh, I'm having an allergic reaction. What the hell? One, let me go outside and get away from whatever this is, and then we can sort this out and figure out, okay, what's going on here.
Right. But it brought up something I've said for years.
Mm-hmm.
Is if one person's sick in a building, everybody's going to get sick in that building.
Well, yeah. And there are lots of environments that really, like, sick office syndrome was kind of a thing in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
People were talking about, and it had more to do with like mold and other contaminants in the air. But when you realize how many buildings just aren't built for proper ventilation, for clean air, that a lot of this is recycling through, suspended ceiling plenum systems that are open to anything and everything that gets in them. Which sometimes includes birds and, bird droppings and bats and bat droppings and mold and leaks and all this crap that gets sucked through. Those buildings can get nasty. And what's blowing out above your head can be really friggin' bad.
Yep.
Oh,
Donna, I'm right in that mix with you. Like, we're in the same rowboat there.
Oh, no. I don't know. I'll take the. I know it's bad, but I like take your chances with the yeast infection. Ugh. But no, the first one.
Not doing anything that even puts me at risk because I'm already in that 20 percentile.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
they have these things called chastity belts. I'm just saying a padlock and just, knock your butt out. That's what we do. Or that's an option too. Like, screw that, I'm out of here. She's already decided, screw this, I'm out of here. Like, no.
Yeah.
I'm done. But yes, no, I don't know. And that's like a conversation we've had though, is it's really honestly getting to a point it feels like we're inevitably all going to get sick.
Yeah.
Like this is not working. Not that masks aren't working, but the respect, I guess, for public health and respecting others and caring about others isn't working.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're talking about wearing a mask, trying to avoid your own infection, like getting sick, like what it's basically as effective as the pull-out method fails. I mean, like, Jesus, like, we really are reliant right now on other people to help keep us healthy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Prisons, offices, stores. Oh, my God. Yeah. And no, we don't really fully understand what we're dealing with yet. I mean, I think my biggest problem in this situation is we've seen a public reaction evolve at the rate of, in a very few months, that public opinion-wise has moved in the same 4-month span that it took 4 decades for HIV to get through. From public health crisis, horror, oh my God, everyone's going to die, avoid this, do this, don't do that. And now we're suddenly at this point of, oh, well, I guess I'm supposed to die. Sacrifice grandma because, I can't not get a haircut. Whatever, it's no big deal. Like the flu's worse, that kind of mentality.
Although I will say we made an emergency sheets run because we had a chili accident.
And boy, when you have a chili accident, and boy, when you have a chili accident,
yeah.
But meanwhile, like on the scientific side of this disease, we got nothing.
Yeah.
We know so little, and there's going to be so much more we have to learn, and so much more we've got to deal with. And yet, we're acting like, no big deal, just like take a pill. It is like the general mentality we're running into, and it's like, what the hell? Oh, gosh. Oh.
I've been there, dog.
I'm so sorry, dog.
So sorry about that. We've been there. I lost, what did we get up to? 13 in 3 days.
14 advisors on one network that were posted. They didn't all technically die in the same few days.
Yeah.
But their death notices to the back channel support or the back channel forum ended up being slammed through all at once, and it was just bam, 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 bam. And the scariest part is some of them were really big names on that platform.
Yep.
And that's kind of some of it was hitting you hard because they were big names. Some of it was hitting you hard because it's they joined the same time I did. I know who this is. I have talked to them. I have worked with them. We have chatted. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we have shared recipes, like, no, we've never met in person, but I know who this is. Like, this is like a person.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm sorry to put it that way. Like, sometimes you have online friends and they're just online friends, and it's like they're sort of people.
Mm-hmm. And then you have people that are people.
Yeah, they're like, no, this is not someone I've driven cross country or around or flown around the world to go see, but this is still someone I know deeply.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like a big thing.
Yeah. And I don't get it. I don't get why people are not staying home, why people are not getting this. However, I will say that and I was started to say this, is when I was doing the emergency sheets run,
Mm-hmm.
for the first time in probably weeks, everyone had a mask on. Staff had a mask on. Everyone in the store had a mask on. Like, they were starting to get it.
Yeah.
No, this this corona is just like the plague of the 80s and 90s, is like the plague of 1918. It doesn't discriminate against age, race, or sex. It'll take them all.
Yep. And we see how it goes around churches.
Yes.
God took a sideline on this one. Sorry, I'm just horrible. But
come on back, Donna. We'll be back at 9:30 on Friday and Tuesdays at 9:30. So come troll us anytime. I love seeing you in the comments.
Absolutely.
Looking forward
oh gosh,
to during Pagan Pride. But we are going on 2 hours, guys, and that means that we're going to be wrapping up. Be sure to be, on July 1st, I will be restarting the postings of the Daily Tarot, the Daily Angel card. We have a new one called the Daily Meditation Prompt, and the Daily Numerology. You guys said you wanted them back. I'm bringing them back.
Absolutely.
Yep.
But yeah, and we've thanked our supporters for Patreon?
Yep.
Okay, just making sure. I thought I caught that, but
Yes. And also, if you'd like to join our Patreon, go over to pcsnetwork.com. It's scrolling across the screen there, and check it out.
Absolutely.
So, until then,
pcsnetwork.com.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yay. See you guys later. Bye. I'll be on network in about an hour.
Hey, where was Mark?
Mark didn't come in tonight.
Oh.
Yeah.
I just remembered it as I went to do my Bubba Gump shrimp wave, and he wasn't here.
Yep. All right, guys. Good night.
Good night.